Hello, hello, good night. Good night, me. Welcome back. Word is back in the building, of course. And Mimi. And we told y'all we'll definitely be back. And we back on another day. So yeah, let's keep going. You already know. How you feeling, girl?
I'm feeling good. It's been a busy day for me, but again, we're trying to get into the habit of going live regardless of what's going on.
Tell me about it. I mean, I definitely enjoyed yesterday, so that was definitely a vibe. Most definitely a vibe. But girl, word on the street is Vanilla Ice knows who murdered Tupac. What do you think about that? Like, I'm like, all these people all of a sudden just popping up knowing who did what after all these years.
See, I'm gonna be honest. That whole Biggie and Tupac thing is getting old to me. like, like it's been so many years that if forensics and modern technology has not allowed them to find this killer, I just can't believe some random person that says, "Oh, he did it." Like, it's like every year there's a new killer.
Right, because this you remember this dude, what's his name? I think Keefe D is in jail behind supposedly the murder that took place with Tupac because he was in the car when his nephew Orlando whatever ends up, I'm sorry, don't remember his last name, but I know his first name, and I guess he was
Honey
the
step.
shooter or whatever have you. And that's why Keefe D's going down because Orlando is no longer alive. He died like a couple of weeks after Tupac was murdered. So then I'm like, is this dude clout chasing right now? Because that was my automatic thought. Like, no, you got to be clout chasing because all of a sudden, Mr. Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby, now you know who was involved in the killing of Tupac. After all these years, ain't nobody, no, we ain't hearing nothing from you. You probably been on tour a couple of places, maybe London, the UK, wherever. You feel me? You probably been on tour. We don't really hear from you. You was like that way back in the day artist or whatever have you. I know he had a few situations. One of them was with Suge Knight, I believe, or whatnot. But besides that, it was just like, boy, how all these years you come out, you is definitely clout chasing at this point. You is a clout chaser. Grand Rising, my Grand Rising. So I was kind of confused. That was my whole thought process. I was like, well, all in a sudden. I mean, don't you think it's a little clout chasing for you now, all in a sudden, to know who was involved with the killing of Tupac, and now you want to speak about it? I mean, everybody is doing it. I think it's become a trend, like you said. But him out of all people, man, listen, I don't know. Oh well, I think we stepped away for a moment. But yeah, y'all, I was seeing that, and it kind of caught me off guard because I'm like, I mean, you might as well have kept whatever you say you know regarding this whole situation, and don't even say nothing because we all these years later, now you want to say something. And I feel as though just because the heighten of what this dude P Diddy is going through and all these allegations and these lawsuits that he's facing, I'm thinking Everybody's definitely trying to get a piece of the pie when it comes down to this whole Diddy situation. But like I said, I just feel like it was ultimately clout chasing at its best. Now I don't know about how nobody else feel. Everybody has their own opinion. It is getting a bit tiresome because, like I said, I would assume that the person that they're supposedly saying that they put away just recently, which is Keefe D, was the accomplice to Pac's murder. So I don't get it. But everybody's trying to jump on the bandwagon, y'all. Everybody is trying to jump on the bandwagon. And then word on the street is that Diddy finally came out and spoke out and basically is saying that all these women that's coming out and making these allegations, including one man, is not telling the truth. They are just trying to get a payday. He's saying he didn't do none of those things that people are alleging that he has done to them. So he finally broke his silence. I don't know if that's going to work in his favor because sometimes when you begin to start talking, you start digging a hole for yourself, start telling on yourself because you too busy trying to lie and cover up all this dirt that you done did. So you already know. But that shit right there was definitely crazy. I don't know where Mimi went. I was waiting for her to come back, y'all. So I'll just continue to wait for her to come back, but I know she'll be back. But yeah, I appreciate anybody that's gonna come into the live. Please take the time out to subscribe, hit the up like button, notification bell. So every time that we go live on this channel, you guys will definitely be involved and on time because your notifications would have been on and you would have got that notification bell ring that the Honesty Podcast is live and we are in the building. But yeah, y'all, I just wanted to really just drop in, you know what I mean, catch a vibe with you guys. But it's been so much stuff going on. Listen, I don't really get into the whole um Jocelyn Cabaret situation, but I know that that's a whole nother situation because word on the street is, as you know, Jocelyn, she's a hot mess, a whole hot mess. Hold on, y'all, I got the fire department, whoever going past and stuff. But Mimi, I know you could break down that whole situation. I was hearing a whole lot of different things when it came down to the whole Jocelyn Cabaret and just certain little things with the reunion and whatnot. So catch me up on that. What's been going on? Because I'm hearing it's been getting crazy.
See now, I'm already working on like a short segment, like seasons. So well, it would be Jocelyn's Cabaret, it would be South Central Baddies, um, and of course the baddies of Zeus. But as far as Jocelyn's Cabaret, what hasn't happened with her? Um, she kicked off the season beating up Big Lex like real bad, and I think this was probably her best season yet as far as like aesthetic, budget, the girls, their looks. This has
So
to be her best season yet. Like,
Big Lex the female that got jumped the
mm-hmm,
night of some type, that was that situation, right?
mm-hmm. See, Jocelyn was going to perform with Mayweather. Big Lex was not even supposed to be there. So that was a Zeus event. Big Lex is associated with Now That's TV. Apparently, there's a whole thing going on where the owner of Zeus and the owner of Now That's TV, they used to work together once upon a time, but they split ways. So now that's why you have a lot of Zeus competition pushing over to Now That's TV because Now That's TV is offering them shows out the ass. So that's where Jocelyn and Lex issue came into play. Jocelyn had her own show. Lex came in. Lex decided to start popping her shit. She went over to Now That's TV. She has a very successful show, but she wouldn't. I'm gonna be honest. She wouldn't stop talking shit. Like the whole time that Jocelyn was on her own show doing her own thing, Big Lex kept talking shit about how she was gonna beat her ass. So for me, it was more like you knew Jocelyn was gonna be at this event. Why did you come by yourself after you talked all that shit?
I know when I seen, for me, I thought Jocelyn was she was on something. I don't know if she then took a line, but she looked at like a whole different demonic energy done took over her body. But I would say I didn't really know the in depth situation, but I knew that it was just crazy how they jumped her in the spot. Like, you know what I mean? I could understand, all right, you and Jocelyn having a situation, but then again, Jocelyn has her crew. But my thing
Hmm.
was, even with Jocelyn's boyfriend, like that kind of like, where do you come in jumping into this female situation? All right, say it's females jump her, she's already being jumped. Where do you come in now to start putting hands on this chick? Like, that's crazy.
Oh, see, I don't know where he put hands on her. The videos I seen, I saw where he was like yelling and like almost pretending like he was breaking it up, but he wasn't breaking it up. Like, if anything, he was creating a safe space for Jocelyn to be able to whoop her ass properly. If I'm being honest, like I've been in that position and he was not helping. He was definitely clearing the way so that Jocelyn could whoop her ass, like uninterrupted. It was a point where he started yelling in her face, and I think that saved her because Jocelyn definitely was on something. The biggest thing is the way she was choking her. I felt like she could have killed her. She really could have killed her the way she was choking her. But when you got that coke in your system, you don't feel nothing. You don't understand how strong you are. Like that's why I took all them damn police officers to even get her out the damn building. And then this bitch gets out of jail and she is like stress free. Like she done made herself new t-shirts. She don't give a fuck. She completely capitalized off this entire situation. She sees
Well,
it as she did her big one. She don't feel bad about it. She don't care.
I mean, but that's what's basically selling because at this point, ain't nobody really sitting around to want to hear nothing or see anything positive. Because let's be real, Jocelyn don't offer nothing positive. She's fucking chaos. She's chaos. That's period. Like she has a demeanor about herself, but that demeanor that she has is what's making her money. You know what I mean? That energy that she brings with her attitude and her behaviors is making that money. And because it's females that want to be able to be in a line that she's in when it comes down to having her own show, which she got off of being off of Love and Hip Hop and getting that exposure from Love and Hip Hop and etc. A lot of females is feeling like, all right, I have an opportunity by doing this show with this female because I watched her from a time when she was at her first time being on Love and Hip Hop with Stevie J to now having her own show. But even with that, it's ghetto ass females. Like they're not, I mean, it's almost like it's set up for it to be just fighting going on. Like we gonna get y'all all intoxicated as much as we could, and we just gonna have y'all brawl out and whatever, and we gonna make our money because that's where the fan base comes in. People tune in for the fights and the arguments, and this one said that and all that other shit.
I mean, that's the new reality TV. I'm gonna be honest. Like the new reality TV is on that wave. And if you notice, the mainstream reality TV is starting to get on that wave. Where like before it was like, oh, you fight, it's a lawsuit, you off the show. Now they're welcoming that because all these low level shows like the Now That's TV, they're getting way more views, making way more money, and they're getting active. And that's really what it comes down to. These are some ghetto ass bitches. Like they don't care. Like they're homeless. They Like they're young, they're reckless, they're lost, and these people take advantage of that. They pick them up, they give them a little bit of money, start spoon feeding them some money, and they turn into little personal pit bulls. Like it's
Yeah.
literally, if y'all fight, I'll give anybody that fight right now, you'll get $500. Like shit like that.
Yeah, and that's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Because then it goes back to saying, like, damn, a lot of these females, you look at them and you will say through their aesthetics that, damn, this is a pretty girl. Like, she can do better, and she doesn't even have to allow herself to be subjected to having a fight, get her face scratched up, get her hair pulled out, whatever may be the situation.
Mm.
But like when you analyze it, a lot of them and a lot of just females today, when you look at it, is like fast money. So it's like they're willing to go through shit with a nigga. They're willing to go through shit, period, on a whole, if it means that they're gonna get to the bag and it's gonna also bring them fame.
And that goes back to what we talked about yesterday, which is, and this is a dynamic where on these shows, there are no men involved. These are women voluntarily coming on doing stupid shit for money. So it's like, that's where I say, at what point do we hold women accountable for the shit that they put themselves in? And stop pointing a finger. Like, yes, Diddy, he ain't shit. Don't get me wrong, he's not shit, but you knew he wasn't shit. And the same thing with Jocelyn's Cabaret. You know what type of show this is before you even get on. It's not like we thought Jocelyn was this Mother Mary, Mother Teresa figure.
Right.
Jocelyn, at the end of the day, she made it very clear what her past was. I was a stripper. I came out of being a stripper, but she still is along those lines.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. I mean, she definitely is. You know what I mean? And she definitely allowed whatever she has been through in her journey to catapult her to where she's at right now.
But see, I have a difference of opinion when it comes to Jocelyn Cabaret versus all these other shows. So with Jocelyn, I feel like, okay, shows like Baddies, shows like Jocelyn Cabaret, you know what you're signing up for. Like, it's not like Natalie is this Mother Teresa. She literally showed her life by whooping bitches' asses, and now she's considered like the godmother of it.
Mm-hmm.
Jocelyn with Love and Hip Hop. All she did was fight. She made it very known she was a stripper, and she used that same stripper experience to go over into entertainment. So it's just like, this is what you want. This is what they want. That's why I don't understand. You saw Jocelyn. You knew she was coming out with this cabaret themed, knowing her past. Basically, it was like a another word for a strip club. You knew what you were coming on there for. And we all know Jocelyn's personality. But
Mm-hmm.
then you want to get on the show and you want to act like a crybaby. Oh, she said this to me. She said this to me. But you know what the fuck you're signing up for.
Yeah, I would think you definitely should know at that point based on the knowledge of who she is and from what you've seen, because nobody can say that they ain't see her behaviors or watch Love and Hip Hop to see how she was just doing so much different crazy shit. You know what I mean? So for me, I can definitely. That's why I say like you. I do understand the part of women do have to take accountability for their choices when they are knowingly for themselves knowingly saying like I'm going into this and I have a mission, you know what I mean, and my mission is, like I said, whether it's to get the bag or be famous in their minds or whatever have you, but they're willing to just do any and everything no matter what it is, no matter if it means them breaking themselves down on a consistent basis. Like the shit is just so crazy when you sit back and you actually analyze and you watch some of the shows. It's just like, wow, like you're really willing to subject yourself to go through all this shit just for the
But
bag. But even when we even and it's crazy because look at like when you look at Krishan is damn near the same thing too. You know what I
But
mean?
all these women are of a certain type, though. Like I can't act like they're in the category of all women. These are certain types of women. You don't see college students with shit to lose going on these shows.
Right. Okay. No, no, it's definitely
You
certain
don't
women.
see
It's definitely that.
entrepreneurs and shit. You get what I'm saying? Like people with stuff to lose. These are ghetto ass females that like they don't care. They have nothing to lose at this point. You don't see housewives that um are entrepreneurs, have husbands, they're solid within their families, going on these shows to go fight and do all that stupid shit. They're taking advantage of young, lost little girls. And the older ones are just the ones that been on the same shit and just haven't like matured mentally. So I have to acknowledge that part where it's not all women. It's certain types of women.
No, it's definitely. I can agree with that. I definitely won't say it's all women. I definitely won't say that. But when you look at the category of which some of these women, like you stated, it's a category basically that these women are definitely in. And this is why they are considered to be the chosen one because it's basically like we're going after the broken to then mold the broken into what we want that person to be and still have that opportunity to have a hold over that individual because we already know how broken they are. And yeah, we're going to break them down in different ways, but we're still going to allow them to feel like they have an opportunity. And I think that's what a lot of them go through that's been through some shit and don't have no real morality when it comes down to certain decision makings. So, you know,
Yeah, they go after the ones with no guidance, the ones that, they on a box, they on a run, stuff like that, where it's like they feel like this is their only way to actually make it. So they don't go into on college campuses and find these students. I mean these people, or like job events and everything else. No, they're going to the pits of Instagram, the females that's over there fighting, Facebook beefs and all this stupid shit. So it's just like,
I mean, that's what's selling. That is what's selling. Because like I said, it's very rare that if you're talking about something that will, even if it don't relate to you, it could relate to somebody in your family or a friend or whatever. People really don't take the time out to want to listen to certain things when it comes down to real conscious talking in a sense. But if it's about arguing or you put in like, oh, I'm about to curse this female out or whatever have you, everybody's tuned in. You know what I mean? Because that's what people to and it's sad, but that's what people do enjoy. People enjoy chaos. People enjoy the fighting and the arguing and all that shit. Not everybody, but certain people for the most part. And when you look at it, it almost feels like it's the majority.
because I think everybody tunes into some level of drama, especially if you don't have that level of drama in your life. It's like they got to watch it somewhere. But where I draw the line is like these females that play victim, like the Sukis of the world. Like, this is the image you created, and now you're crying about it. Own
Well,
it.
yeah, well, even with Sukiana, I just, it was just like, girl, even if you wanted to clean up your image, but look, you got a lot of them. You got that other chick, something red. Can't fully remember her name. All I remember is something red. But these females come in with an image that they already created for themselves, and then want to turn around and clean up their act and feel some type of way based on the judgment that they're getting. But that's the choice that you made when you decided that that was the image that you were going to give people. So that's the picture, and that's already the thought process of a person. Once you give them a picture to look at, now they paint their own ideal of who you are.
I think Black China is a good example of like, okay, I've cleaned up my act, but I'm not gonna pretend like I don't know where I came from. But a woman like Suki Hana is like, she hasn't cleaned up anything. This is what she subscribes to. This is how she makes her money. This is the type of music she makes. But she's gonna cry about it when people hold her to the standard that she's out here setting for herself. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
Like
Like I
I
said,
genuinely don't get it because it's like if that's what I want to do, if that's how I'm making my money, I'm gonna own it. All right, y'all gonna troll me, y'all gonna call me a hoe, y'all gonna do whatever. All right, cool. I don't care. I'm not gonna sit up here and cry every day as if I'm now the victim when I'm clearly looking for this level of attention. Like I just don't get it. And then she'll cry one day and then be back out there talking about how she wanna. Child, I don't even want to speak the words that come out of her mouth. Mm-mm.
nah, she has a very dirty, dirty mouth. But I seen her come out and speak a few times and complaining about what people have to say. And I mean, I feel the same way. I feel like if you painted a image to people of this is who you are, that's what they going by. Like you have a lot of kids. First of all, let's start with that. Then you out here, you got a tape out here. You know what I mean? That's gonna be forever floating around because nothing leaves the internet clouds. Like psst, your kids 9 times out of 10, even if you don't want them to see it, they're gonna see it if they didn't see it already, based on just how you are out here. Shows me the type of parent that you are. So it's a lot of different, it's a lot of different circumstances that you put yourself in. Like I feel like you could have catapulted yourself using love and hip hop, but you didn't have to slut yourself out to be where you needed to be. But I guess she felt that that was the choice that she had to make. But don't sit back and act like you didn't have a choice. You made the choice. Now you're where you're at. It should really be nothing more to say, or you shouldn't even have to complain. That part I don't get either. It's just you might as well just leave it where it's at and continue to do what you're doing because that's what you built your image off of. So it's like turning back and trying to do something or trying to act like you're doing something different. It just won't look right on you because you already set that image and that tone in everybody's mind.
Mm. It's like these females that be out here sleeping with women's husbands, but then want to act like they the victim. It's like, cut it out.
Mhm. Mhm.
Cut it out. You're no victim here.
Mhm.
This is what you wanted. That is the environment that you created for yourself. So at this point, just own it. But what we refuse to do is sit up here and cry and shed tears for you. And this is what you actively sought. You know, you were actively looking for this. It's like
Mhm.
you benefited off of it. You capitalized. Like it's just like, child, please.
That's true.
Because if I decide to go take my clothes off, that's a like me as a grown ass woman. If I decide to go take my clothes off, make a song where I'm talking about this and this and that, making a video where I'm showing all my body parts, trust and believe you me, I will be prepared for whatever backlash comes with it. Because the last thing I'm gonna think is people gonna send praise roses as if I'm Michelle Obama and I did something great out here. Like I'm confused. Like, did you want a Grammy for being the best hoe out here? Like,
No, I mean, a lot of them feel like once they get to a certain point that they're able, like I said, to just change their image, but what they don't realize is that you already built that image in a person's mind, so it's just difficult. You know what I mean? It's all about what your representation is when you're first approaching, deciding to whatever you're into. You know what I mean? Especially in the entertainment business. You know what I mean? So she already made her decision as far as what picture she wanted to paint for people. And the picture that you painted for people was that you don't give a shit and you gonna do what you want. And I don't even gotta go into the details of being explicit on some of the things that she comes out her mouth to say, because her mouth is very, very dirty and it's just disrespectful. So, why your eyes are so red, Mama? Okay, give me 1 second, guys. I will be right back.
yeah. So again, we just be doing these lives just to get ourselves in a habit of going live. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. Just getting in the habit of hitting that live button so that we just feel comfortable. So that when it's time to go back over with Millennial Queens, we can do that. No problems, full throttle, hitting that gas, no brakes. So, what time is it? Give me 1 second. I'm coming right back. Okay, yeah. So just give it a little bit more time. I would say, if we could do this consistently, like get in our comfort zone. We should be right back on Millennial Queens, I would say. By the new year, that would be a great way to start the new year. Like, we'll be on both channels, but we'll be pressing that gas. So, anybody that has tuned in, thank y'all for tuning in. Um, I think this video is going to go on private. I'm not sure, but thank y'all so much for tuning in. We appreciate y'all, and we will be back tomorrow. We can't guarantee a time, but we definitely will be back.
Peace and good night, y'all. We'll be back soon. Thank you for pulling up.